Hi there, everybody, and welcome back to another video on the Toon Review YouTube channel, where Monday's news isn't great, guys. If you haven't heard already, Alexander Isak is set to miss at least 3 games with whatever this injury is that he's picked up. But before we go into the video, as usual, guys, if you have enjoyed the video, please do hit that like button for us. And of course, if you're new and you like what you see, do subscribe. It is free to do so. Just hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, which will let you know when we go live or we upload videos. Now into the video, and as I said there in the intro, it's not great news for Alexander Isak. He's set to miss now the Fulham game on Saturday, the Brentford game, and the Man United game. Now, what the real strange thing is that nobody has told us what the injury actually is. So we still are very unaware. Now, of course, we know he left the Sweden squad last weekend because of what he felt was a niggle. But nothing has come of that. There's been nothing released from the Swedish FA or Newcastle United as to what the injury is, or indeed how serious it is. But if you're talking 2-3 weeks out, it's got to be some kind of muscular injury, which is a massive shame because Isak, he's just signed. He's wanting to make a massive impression on Newcastle United. He's already got 2 goals for us this season. He looks really good in front of goal, and then bang, he gets injured. But that has been the way for Newcastle United this season so far. And it always seems to be our big players that are getting injured. And quite frankly, I'm getting a bit pissed off having to do videos all the time just talking about injuries because it's annoying, especially when it happens to our better players as well. You know, you've got Callum Wilson, Isak, Bruno, ASM, etc., etc. It always seems to be the great players. And, of course, we're missing John Joe Shelvey. We're missing his passing range. There's no doubt about that. So I'll be glad when he comes back in because, you know, although he's took a lot of flack in the past, when he doesn't play for us, you can see what we miss. You know, we miss the range of passing, we miss his precision, and we just miss his all-round general football, which is a shame. And it's such a shame for Isak as well. And it's annoying for us as fans that once again, we have to go through another period of play without one of our better players. Now, Bruno, he's left the Brazilian squad. He, of course, didn't play the other day because of what he said was just a sort of a niggling groin problem. But he was expected maybe to play some part in the games this week. He's not. He's returned back to Newcastle. He has put a photo out on his Instagram, I believe, of him in the gym back in Newcastle. Now, the Brazilian squad did go for a visit to Disneyland Paris, of course. So I'm not sure whether he's aggravated something on a ride he went on or whatever, or he's just playing it safe. We still don't know what the situation is with Fulham coming up on Saturday, of course. So we'll just have to wait and see on that one. But, you know, he's put a picture of him in the gym. Is that a good sign? Is that a bad sign? I don't know because, you know, he's not exactly running on a pitch kicking a football. So it'll be interesting to hear what Eddie Howe has to say in his press conference on Friday as to whether Bruno plays a part. But, of course, the international games are still going on for a few days this week. So hopefully the rest of the Newcastle lads will come back with clean bills of health because what we don't need, again, is more injury problems to this already depleted squad. Now, ASM, a little bit more positive on him. According to news reports, he's still touch and go with the hamstring problem. So he may or may not be available for Saturday. However, everybody can see that if they follow ASM on social media, he's put a TikTok out with him dancing and showing his moves off. So does that give us any indication that he's fit to play, he's ready to go? You know, because normally ASM puts these tweets out when he's, you know, building up to a game and saying, right, I'm ready to go, come on, let's build it up. So whether he's there or not, it remains to be seen. Now, as far as I'm concerned, I think he's had a good rest. He's putting dancing TikToks out, you know what I mean? If you've got a hamstring problem, that's the last thing you want to do is dance around. So for me, it's a positive video and a positive sign that he may play. But according to the reports, he's still touch and go. Callum Wilson is definitely set to return. He's been in training, so he is ready, hopefully, to go on Saturday. And by God, we need him. If we're missing Isak and, of course, Chris Wood now with a rib injury, there's no word on him yet as to whether or not he's going to make the game. I would highly doubt it if he's what he called popped a rib. So very, very doubtful indeed. But, of course, he hasn't gone down well with Newcastle United fans at the minute anyway since his signing. But you know what it is? When we're crippled with injuries like this, we need all the players we can get. And obviously, when our whole front line is wiped out with injuries, it's a crisis, isn't it? It's awful. But, you know, good news is Callum Wilson is set to return. Now, again, as I said in previous videos, does that mean he starts on the bench? Does that mean Eddie Howe's hand has been forced and he's got to start Callum Wilson due to the injuries. But hopefully he's ready to go and we get a good performance out of Callum. Elliot Anderson, news on him, he should also be available. Now, my view is that if ASM still doesn't make it for Saturday, then you've got to play Elliot Anderson. You know, when he came on against Crystal Palace for that last 20 minutes of the game, he was awesome. He was brilliant. Taking players on, having shots, and the confidence in the lad to take players on and things like that is right up there. And that's what we need. We need a bit of attacking impetus because it didn't show against Bournemouth. We didn't really, there was a lot of sideways passing. But when you get direct players like ASM and Elliot Anderson, players who will want to take the defenders on, get balls into the box or get shots away, that's the kind of excitement we need to see. And Fulham are going to come at us on Saturday. There's no doubt about that. They are playing with blinding confidence at the minute. And, of course, Mitrovic can't stop scoring for club and country. So he's going to want to get one over his old side on Saturday. There's no doubt about that. So we've got to be up for the game. And as many better players as we can need to be on that pitch. So hopefully Elliot Anderson will be available as well. So that's the injury front, guys. It's not great, but, there is some positives there as well, I guess, with Wilson and Anderson, the possibility of ASM, and even Bruno being fit. We just don't know till later in the week. But a final thing is the AC Milan director, Paolo Maldini, has finally come out and spoken about the efforts that they made to sign centre-back Sven Botman in the summer. Now, obviously, we know that this went on for months. It went on for a really long time. Everybody was convinced that he was going to AC Milan, but it didn't turn out that way. He signed for Newcastle United. But the thing that got me was that in that interview, Paolo Maldini said that Sven Botman was their number one target. Now, for me, I don't know how you guys feel, but for me as a Newcastle United fan, for that to be the case, beating AC Milan to their number one target in the summer. When was the last time we, as Newcastle United fans, were actually able to say that we've beaten a club like AC Milan to a signing like Sven Botman? So for me, fantastic, absolutely brilliant. So may that long continue, to be honest, because we are going to be going up against the best teams in the world for these players in future transfer windows. So to know that we beat AC Milan to a player like Botman is fantastic. But there you go, guys. That is the news today. I'm sorry it's not very positive on Isak, but as Newcastle fans, we're kind of used to that now with all the injury news coming our way. But there you go. Let me know what you think. Who do you think is going to be available for the Fulham game on Saturday? Now, I know I've seen a lot of social media kicking around about the game itself being postponed because of rail strikes. It's not going to happen, guys. Let's face it. We're Monday now. The game's on Saturday. It would be crazy to call it off this late. Now, whether the club want to put coaches on or what, I don't know. But Newcastle fans being Newcastle fans, Christ, let's face it. They'll travel any way possible to get to the game. I know it's a long way to London, but look, Newcastle fans would walk there if they could to watch the game. Let's be honest. And do we really want the game cancelled? I'm not so sure we do. We've already got a game down when the West Ham game was cancelled. It might help us injury-wise, of course, but yeah, we said that last time, didn't we? That the West Ham game would hopefully let us get a few players back. It hasn't happened. So I'm not too fussed. I just hope that the guys that are going to the game get down there safely and get down there easily. But there you go, guys. Thank you very much for watching. As usual, if you have enjoyed the video, hit that like button. It does help us move up the search results. And of course, if you're new and you like what you see, please do hit the subscribe button. Free to do so. And of course, the notification bell, which will let you know when we go live or we upload. Tonight, if you're watching on Monday, we've got the live watch along with me and Alex for the England-Germany game. Really looking forward to that. Fan forum tomorrow night. And don't forget a very special show on Wednesday night at 7 o'clock where we've got Newcastle United women's midfielder Freya Bales joining us live for a show talking about all things NUFC women, her personal aspirations and team aspirations as well. So that should be fantastic. But in the meantime, guys, enjoy the rest of your Monday. Take care.